Alright boys and girls, and welcome back to another building video. This time we are expanding upon the Perfect Expansion series, bringing you all a 2x1. A humble 2x1 starter that expands all the way up to a perfect main base. This could be used in a simple snowball, or you could use it throughout an entire long wipe. The storage potential, combined with the mobility and quality of life, is going to make this base a nice choice for a lot of you smaller teams to rock in your wipes. The base has great defendability with amazing downward angles and some very fob protected peaks too. Our core is bunkered and we have retakes onto our roof and shooting floor, not to mention an amazing compound with great angles ready to defend and a lot of great respawn potential too inside of this base. We're also utilizing a new external disconnect that I think you guys are going to appreciate too. And overall, this base is very impressive and I think you guys are going to like it a lot. If you guys enjoyed the old version, you're going to love this one even more as we expand upon everything. As we expand and improve on every aspect of the build. Hopefully boys and girls are excited to see this one, and I'll go ahead and start you off with the tour. Alright, and we're in with the tour of the Perfect 2x1. Now, of course, this is very similar to the Perfect 2x2 that I just threw up on the channel. It's an older series, but we are revamping through it slowly as building has changed a lot and the talents have changed a lot too. So hopefully you guys appreciate the revamp and hopefully you enjoy the Perfect 2x1. This one is definitely a bit of a bang, and I'm not sure at the time of recording this. I'm intending to be testing this one out with a certain someone, so we'll see if that happened or not. I have no idea at the time of recording this, but if it went well, then you'll have seen that video hopefully at some point. But yeah, we've got two externals on the base that's going to upkeep the wide yaps, and externals are still not really like set in stone. I don't know what to rock yet, to be honest with you. This one has no bunker, but it has a strong disconnect. That's what I'm repping just now. If we come in here, the nice part is you do get a refinery super early on. So even pre-compound, you can throw down an external and just stick a refinery in here, and then TC goes in there, and you got a spot for a battery over here. As for the disconnect portion of this external TC, the way we set it up is there's a frame holding up a frame here, like that, and then it requires this twig half wall to keep everything moving. So if I break that, you can see that the disconnect pops just like that. Stops this overlapping main, allowing you to replace main TC or move it around if you want to do that for whatever reason. You add the half wall back in and the frames. This is what I get for making the base look cool. There you go. Boom. And that's that done. So we have two of these, one on either side of the base, which is super nice. And then two gatehouses, one on either side of the base too. As per usual, guys, I got a couple of cool things to show off to you. If you guys are into building and you're looking for something a little bit extra, consider checking out the Patreon in the description down below, where you guys can gain access to bi-weekly private bases, all up to an S tier standard for only $5. This Patreon is a perfect way to support the channel, whilst gaining access to some cool builds that apply to different group sizes across the board. The subscription also gives access to my own private meta box that I use in every PvP video. Feel free to join the Discord down below, where there's loads of different builders including me who can help you guys out, a full list of my PvP settings and quick commands, and if you're looking to go one step further and get a fully private custom made base design down to exactly everything you and your team will need, then you can open a ticket in the Discord and purchase yourself a fully custom private base design. These products are super well reviewed and I genuinely could not recommend them enough, and they help me out massively. Cheers for watching. Let's get back into the tour. So we start off on the gatehouse here, and of course maximum visibility gatehouse. Get a DLC door on there for the window, and then you got the full viz. Coming into the compound, it's a little bit of a different setup, the way we rock the gatehouse. We have our entrance into the base, and then we have two ways into compound as well. So the retakes into compound actually come behind one more door, as opposed to using it from the gatehouse. We got some head coverage here, so any raid bases can't take us off this angle, and this opens into the seawall here, and also if these high walls are gone, these angles will open up a lot more. Spraying through the chain link isn't so fun, but they're gonna have to break it anyway if they want to deal with the turret that is up there. So that turret's watching super well behind the chain link, so anyone laddering over is going to get caught out, and anyone that's trying to breach through high walls is going to get caught out too. You can also fit a large furnace in here as well if you guys are still repping those. I'm more of an electric furnace man myself, but large furnaces definitely still have their place in the game, don't get me wrong. But that's the compound for now. We got the turrets watching from here and the turrets watching down there, so they keep an eye on anyone coming in through. Two garage doors is how I have it set up, but you could just leave it open plan if you like it like this. That works too, and then we can wrap through the rest of the compound. So we do have seawall here, so if you don't know what that is, basically means once the high walls come through, and we're expecting them to break these because they're wood, it's the cheapest thing to go for. When they blow the wooden high high walls, it means they'll avoid all the bedrooms and gatehouses, things that are much harder to seal and a lot more effort if we lose those, so ideally we keep them. But with the seawall, they now need to decide if they're going to blow this too, or if they're going to ladder over. If their raid path involves a ladder, that should give you guys a easier job defending as well, and make things a little bit harder when they're taking out turrets too. We do get some nice Patrico angles here. Again, obviously the high walls need to be missing for those to be used. And of course, we're rocking the reverse waterfalls as well, allowing us to get nice mobility from compound all the way up to roof, whilst also giving us a retake into our shooting floor. I'm spoiling so much of the base, that's the only issue with these. But we have these on 4 sides of the base, offering a lot of mobility, which is so important, and a lot of retake potential too, which is amazing. On 2 sides of the compound, we have our bedroom module over here. You don't need to have a ramp here, I just rocked that, but you could throw a locker in here or anything else. We get a couple of boxes tucked away above the door here, and honestly, I'm not expecting these to get hit. That's not a bad spot to throw some loot when you're going offline, and it may not be discovered. Nice angle out towards our external here. You can crouch on the beds to utilize that, and our head is decently safe to the best of the ability I could do it. And then we get a retake into compound as well with a nice head safe there as well. So we can retake our compound with a nice tight angle. It's very unlikely that you're going to lose a 1v1 if you're in there. So it's 2 gatehouses, 2 bedrooms, and 4 reverse waterfalls. Pretty jam-packed compound for such a small base, but you're going to get a lot of use out of this, which I really like. There are 2 entrances into the base, and of course they give those retakes that I showcased before. One of them is going to be a mobility chute, and it looks like that's the one that I'm on. So this is going to take you up to 3rd floor of the base. We do get drop boxes, and the turret continues to watch us as we push through the rest of the base. Really nice, I like the way that sits. However, more importantly, this is our main entrance now to the base, and you could mark that with a skin, or I'm sure you'll get used to it the more you play out of it. But just remember which side is actually going to take you into the main base. That would be important. Again, that turret watches through, which I find super nice. All the way into core almost, which is pretty clean. Drop boxes above as well, and then we can take ourselves into the main core. So we get some boxes here on the shelf, and a little drop down to our core as well, which is nice too. A couple of non-honeycombed boxes here. The rest of these are all safe, but these are non-honeycombed. If any of these walls break though, we do get a Patrico outside to play off of, which is nice. Probably going to get rocket PvP'd, but maybe you get 1 or 2 before that happens. Dropping down is going to take us into our standard 2x1. So we're starting from everybody's favorite, of course, and we're bringing it up to a nice expanded base. You've also got the options to stair bunker here if you want to do that. You can just throw a stair on there and bunker off. It's going to be red because I have so many lights and deployables placed, but you get the idea. Stair bunker goes there, you break the twig, and that seals the drop down, which is super nice. If you're on console, you don't get to rock that. I'm really, really sorry. I would recommend copying a PC though. We can jump up now to our 3rd floor, and up on here we have a couple of bedrooms with some nice respawn potential. Good box storage up here too as well. Opening up these doors exposes some bedrooms with some nice Patrico angles that again have the head covered, which is so nice. And these look down into compound and around the base too, which is great. Obviously the angles up here aren't amazing right now because I have a bit of a weird build spot, but you can imagine if you get some height advantage, you can see a lot from here. And that's on both sides of the base as well, which is super clean. Great crouch angles to utilize, and some great downwards into compound too. Good respawn overall. We do also get a one-way from here onto the next jump up. So anyone that is going to drop down from our shooting floor level, they're going to be getting ankle bitten from both of these sides, which is very handy as well. If anyone's trying to top down, they're not going to be able to pull it off if you're on that angle. Jumping up again now, we have a one-way into our shooting floor. Obviously, you're most likely not going to get a kill from here, but you might get some info and know if anyone's on here at least. And it airlocks out onto our shooting floor. We get 2 single doors to head out, and they're both airlocked, which is super nice. Heading out into our shooting floor, it's very similar to the perfect 2x2 that I just uploaded. We get the kind of scissor peek area here, which is super nice. If I change the skin, these become a lot more useful. So we can look down into compound, and obviously if the high walls are breached, we're going to be looking towards some potential raid locations. A couple of drop boxes here, keep the L9s, they're nice and safe here, they'll be fine. And we got the same angle on this side as well. Wrapping around to this end of the base, we have the wide gaps, and that turret's keeping an eye on us, which is great. Good downward angles across the base. This door is going to keep us safe from any openly exposed gaps that we might not be hoping to deal with. You can see we have the retakes all the way along shooting floor from all these reverse waterfalls. It's not a good spot for raiders to be, you guys are going to be able to take them out pretty easily. We get a Patrico as well on the opposite end of the base, and this is a nice, good angle. Very hard to take you off of this. Usually they just need to rocket it out because you're not going to be losing a lot of gunfights on here. Wide gaps repeat as well, giving us more downward angles, which is great. And then we also have the option to jump up to roof as well. The rest of the shooting floor is just symmetrical, exactly the same as we wrap through. And I'll go ahead and take the jump up now so you guys can see. We get a retake onto roof from this single door here. A lot of visibility. Of course, it's not an amazing 1v1 for you to take. Ideally, you want to catch people off guard when you're using this. If they're already holding it, you're probably not going to make it out of there alive. You do get another retake again, just checking around the base before we do finally head out onto roof. We've got 4 turrets watching us, 2 anti-heli, and then 2 that are just looking around and covering as much of the roof as possible. Up on roof, we have really nice angles that I really like. A couple of downwards here looking towards the external TCs. All of these single doors are our reverse waterfalls, and that's where they meet up with the rest of the base. Then we get our great Patrico angles here. Again, our head is covered. Very anti-raid base angles here. So anyone starting to run up towards the base, you're going to have great shots on them. And a raid base is not going to be able to take you off of this angle, which is so important. Down in the middle, we get a brutalist as well. Everyone loves that. Great visibility on here. Looking down, if you build on a bit of a high spot, you can really look down on people. And again, it's not easy to take you off of here. These shot front sections keep us a little bit safer when we're using the brutalist. And then if there's any raid bases on our height level, then we can utilize these to take those guys out too. And it's kind of more selective angles up here if they're not with raid base. Again, that turret's keeping us safe while we're on there. The Patricos are on all of the sides of the base too. And then we have this one over here as well, watching the external TC. Lots of space in the middle for a minicopter to land, and you can still take off from here without any issue too. Overall, I think this is the perfect 2x1, and I hope you boys and girls agree. I'm going to go ahead now and break down the total build cost for you. First of all, on screen is the total build cost. Second up is that build cost and box amounts. And lastly is the total upkeep that's spread between 3 TCs, and of course the main TC is holding the majority of that upkeep. Hopefully boys and girls are happy with that and you'd like to know how to learn to build the base. I'm going to go ahead and break that down for you now. Alright, let's get in with the tutorial now of the perfect 2x1. So, believe it or not, starting off with the 2x1. Double half wall this for the stair bunker. If you're on console, you can leave that out. Or if you don't care about the stair bunker, you can just leave it out too. We get a double single door airlock. There we are. And TC needs to go in the back left corner like that. And then that's when your bunker goes in, like that. Set it up as you would, get your airlock in, and once you're ready to continue, we're going to wrap 3 triangles around like this and wall it in. Over here, we need to do a deployable jump up if you're rocking the stair bunker, so that could be some furnaces early game, a barrel, just whatever you have on you to let you do the jump. And then you can already do your stair bunker, which is pretty cool. Core is bunkered off already. Very nice. Once you're ready to continue though, we'll go ahead and wrap this level up, giving you a barrel above the jump up, and we'll leave that as a double door for now. You could, however, single door this if you wanted to. Over here on the back, we do need a window because we get a loot room later on, so seal that however you can. A little bit annoying for progression. If you're worried about leaving it open like this and you're a bit concerned, you could just speed run the back walls here, even though it's floating. You could just go straight for this. If you'd rather have the base sealed in a little bit better, you can go for that. On this side, it's a single door directly across from the double, and then we get a loot room in the middle here. Add in ramps if you want for boxes, or you can leave it open for barrels. Set it up how you would like, making sure we can maximize storage in quite a small space. Next, once you're ready, we're going to drop down and add in 3 triangles here. On this level, these are all going to be honeycombing. Make sure we're on the right rotation. There we are. And you can just seal them in. Full honeycomb. And then you can drop back off with a square. And we can add in the jump up. So this is how it's set up nice and easy early on. We just wrap through just like that. Then just wrap this in. Double door there. Jump up over here. Like so. There we go. And we can add the same over here too if you'd like. Just doing the bare minimum on our entrance here. The only weird thing about this base is the jump ups do line up as opposed to being symmetrically diagonal. And that just allows us to use a loot room in the square as opposed to having to have mobility through the square. So that's just a little storage decision we went for there. Even though that might hurt your brain a little bit, it certainly does on mine. As for the main entrance though, this is how we wrap it up. Starting with half walls on the bottom and then windows on the left and right. Then you can add a low wall here for the turret to look through, a floor, and you can wrap this in half walls. We get some boxes there too, very nice. We'll go ahead and do that on the other side as well. And then I'm going to want to add in the honeycomb because this floaty part is looking so weird. So we do the same thing as we did on the opposite end. There we go. Very nice. And we'll add in all of our honeycombing now too. So we've got triangles coming along here. And here. And we'll need to do that on the opposite end as well. Once we've done that, I'm going to add the third floor level now as well, just to give us some defendability early on. So we come through with a bedroom above each of the doors, each of our front doors, like that. Then we have windows in the middle here, with pure honeycombing on the back, giving us our jump up in the middle, with some boxes underneath. Then this is full honeycomb as well on the back. And this is where our mobility chutes meet up. And we add a floor in here, and that creates a one-way, which is nice. There we go. One way from both of these. You can seal in your jump ups now as well. Then over here, you can use the honeycombing as well. Except on the front side here, we have a little retake, giving us our one-way going this way, like that. And then if you want, you could use this honeycombing. It's up to you. In the tour, I didn't have anything, but there's not so much space in the space, so I understand if you want to add some extra stuff here, you can. That is a tactical decision for you guys to make. And if you want to come on the outside and just add in a little Patrico onto these windows, later on it will be covered up with some head protection, but you might as well add this for now. And that gives you guys some defendability pretty early on into the build, and some bedrooms that we've rushed to, which is so nice to get these dedicated respawns with some Patrico angles on there too. And if we're going to rush the Patrico, we might as well rush the head protection too. It'll look a little bit odd at this stage in the build, it's just kind of floating off here, but that's going to give us some good defendability very early on. I'm going to go ahead and add the roof exit as well for now. Technically it's the shooting floor exit, but we'll call it the roof exit because that's where we're at right now. So you just get that kind of chase box, double door airlock exit here, and that'll be perfect for now to play off of. And I think I'm happy with this height, defendability and such, and I'm ready to take it to compound now. Before compound, I'm actually going to add this as well, just to keep our heads safe on all of our angles. No point not getting this down decently early. And there we go. Base looks pretty weird right now, I'll admit that, but we're going to go ahead and take it to a better looking state now. We'll start with the front door, just to make life simple, and we're going to go ahead and wrap in for our gatehouse. And you can add in triangles coming off of here, just like so. And that's our full gatehouse build. Over on the right side, we'll have our way in. And over here, you can just add in a frame to hold up some floors for barricade. Then from there, it's a window in the front and two double doors to lead us out. We get chain link next to the double doors sitting on a half wall. Add your floors in here and a backing of half walls. And then you can seal this whole part in. And now we've got great turrets set up. You can place those whenever you're ready, depending on if you're doing a snowball and not a wipe. You can throw your turrets down now. And that's ready to have some barricades on top too. We'll go ahead and do that on the opposite end as well. So a full hexagon off here with two extra triangles. Then we have our airlock out. A frame for a balcony there. Window, double door. Add your chain link in. Floor all this in. Give it a back wall. Floor all that in too. Turret. And a spot of chain link as well to keep it safe. So that's coming off of the two front entrances now. We'll go ahead and set up our wide gaps, which means we're going to do some external work as well. I'll go in twig now just to make things a little simpler. We're going to come out with a short build out to get ourselves a center facing triangle. And then from there, we're going to wide gap out with the 2 square wide gap method. Break all of our twig, return for the wide gap, then repeat our original build out. And now we've got our 2 wide gap triangles here. And that's what we're looking for. The bedroom module does go as follows, just like this. Then we go into a square, just like that. And we can wrap up the rest of the footprint, bringing triangles towards the gatehouse. And that's the kind of shape we're going for here, giving us our bedroom module and our kind of seawall section. We can go ahead and upgrade all of this. And I'll go back to building in metal as well. So these are both windows. And it's important to place these windows to connect these foundations together, just like that. Place that all on. Everything should be linked up now. It's all on the same kind of build. And then we'll build out for our external TC now. So we're going to go out 1, 2, 3, with a 4th square being our actual external. You can break all of this. And from there, you have triangles coming off the square. And you can break the center one once you've done that. And you could throw a refinery in here. If you want to go for that now, you can. Over here is the TC. Over here is a battery. Window or door, it's completely up to you. Over here is our disconnect portion. And then over here is 2 garage doors, ideally, leading into the external. On this one, you're going to add a twig half wall. Very important you leave that twig. With a metal frame coming off the top. And then I'll go ahead and build out this section too. So we can add our connect. So we have 1, 2, 3. There we go. And you can see when I break the twig, it disconnects. So that's how that operates. Pretty simple disconnect there. Nothing too crazy. And once your garage doors are on, this is all decently strong and it works just fine. So you can throw your external in there and make sure everything is being upkept. Might as well finish off this bedroom module now so that we're ready for compound. So you can add in the back walls like that. Half wall in the center with a window there. And then the rest of this needs to be matched up on the height too. We enter in with a double door, the half wall on top, and then we half wall window here for a nice patrico retake back into compound. You can add in your floors. Over here you can either add beds or I just add a ramp in the tour. It's up to you. Then over here the beds can go. We get some extra storage there, and you could either single door this if you wanted to, giving us a little airlock. You can have that if you want, or you can just go for double door, depending on how you're feeling. Patrico on there, with a ramp to try and keep our head safe. The ramp needs to be this way around. For whatever reason, the barricade just likes to despawn when I have it the other way, so you can go for that. And you can get your beds in on here, like that. And in the middle, we'll add in a frame for now. I'm not trying to do any shooting floor tech, so we'll just go for this frame with a low wall in the middle. There we go. Ready to retake back towards our gatehouse. There we go. Over here we do get a patrico too. You might as well add those in. And then from there, keep your head safe with ideally a DLC roof because we don't want anything sticking through here now. Console guys have DLC too, so everybody's happy as long as you actually own the DLCs. Code Spinky at checkout. Would be nice if they added that low key. That would be a smart move. I'll take an affiliate code on the building DLC skins. And then we're gonna go ahead and do all of this over on the opposite side. So we do the same build out into the 2 square wide gap. Then we break all the twig and return back to main. 2 wide gap triangles here is what we're gonna operate off of. That's our bedroom module. We get an extra square involved too. We wrap triangles across like this. There we go. Then from there we link up the whole footprint because technically those aren't touching. So this is all windows here. And then these are walls. Beautiful. Then let's build out now. 1, 2, 3, 4. Break the 3 for the 2. Wrap it in triangles. Only break that if you're going to throw a refinery in there. If you're not, then don't bother. Wrap all of the triangles in. Double garage door the way in. There we are. Single door or a window, depending on how you're looking BP wise, or if you're far off the tier 2. Keep that on twig. Load a frame on it. We could wrap this one in like that. Boom, boom, boom. We'll build up the whole module now. Window in the middle, half walls wrapping around, double door half wall window. Get your ceilings on. Just close that in. Single door or double, depending how you're feeling. Get your embrasures on. In the middle here, we do a frame into low wall with a nice retake there. And you can ramp down the bottom here. You did it before that one though. Or you could fit some extra beds, extra boxes. It's completely up to you. Get a barricade on here now as well. And lastly, a couple of Patrico covers here. And there we go. We are ready for some high walls now. Okay, we are working with a 3 high wall seal. I'm going to have symmetry on for this because it's not so hard to do. And yeah, we don't need to see that so many times, I don't think. So we're going to bring out this first high wall, kind of looking at the half wall up here. And we're looking to just kind of create a straight line between the half wall and the high wall is the way to think of it. So that one's good to go. Then off the bedroom module here, we want to come kind of here so that a barricade can sit on that and cover everything up nicely. Don't clip this high wall in too much because we have beds in there. We're not trying to hurt ourselves when we spawn in. And we're looking to create a 1 wall seal between this wall and the wall that we've already placed out there. So keep that in mind too. Get the right angle on that. That looks about good to me. And then finally your last wall to seal everything up. There we go. Boom. If you've done that right, you should be able to fit a large furnace in here too. I'm personally not a large furnace man, but if you want those, go for them. We'll try and get electric furnaces down though, because they are so much better. And then you can keep all your wood for making walls. As for the barricades, you'll need to place a little bit of twig here. So we're going to come out on here, standing on the twig, bring that through, making sure they meet in the middle with a bit of overlap. And you'll find that's a very hard compound to get inside of. Over on this side, it's a little bit weirder. We're just going to place it on the ramp. If this ramp is like stone or anything really, I mean, wood's doing it a little bit, but basically make this metal. And you'll be able to place it just fine. There we go. Boom. And that'll cover up the gaps nicely and hopefully keep our head decently safe when we're in the bedroom Patrico. Obviously, there are some gaps there to worry about, but okay, next we're ready for shooting floor and some shooting floor frames. So we'll go ahead and start working on that now. We're going to take a frame off the top of the gatehouse here to keep that a little bit stronger. There we go. On the front side, that's pretty much it. We add in a couple of frames for the kind of door peak section there, and that's all we're really doing. So I'll do that on this side too. Boom, 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 boom. This side over here gets a little bit more complicated though. We do have a reverse waterfall over here and a lot of extra stuff going on. So for starters, on top of the bedroom module, we can raise up 2 frames like so. Down below, we can go ahead and bring a frame up from here and another frame coming up as well. Another 2, just like that in the middle. Nice and simple. Same over here, we're going to bring this to the 3rd level, just like that. Easy peasy. Next to our chain link, we're going to bring this one up as well to 1, 2, 3. There we go. And that's where our netting is going to go. So you can do that over here too. 1, 2, 3. Then we're going to do a half wall this side next to the bedroom. And we'll raise up 2 frames on top of that. Capping it with a full wall, like so. Then in the middle, you can add in a frame, half wall on top, and raise it up to this height. There we go. Do that over here as well. Boom, boom, boom. And if it's easier, just take a screenshot from these angles, and that should make it easier to build the shooting floor. We'll go ahead and do that on the opposite end now. So we're adding a half wall here, raising up the frames. Like that. There we go. And in the middle, we do the same. Up to that level. On this one, you can just bring that up 1, 2, 3. Same with this one and this one. And in the middle, again, it's with that half wall. And there we go. Looking pretty good. Now we're ready to actually build the shooting floor. So in the middle here, we wrap this in half walls, giving ourselves some boxes coming through with a ramp on top to keep things a little safer. We're single dooring here with double doors beside that, and then a row of triangles to seal it all up. As for placing these roofs, that can be super annoying, or sometimes it just does it easily for you. There we go. And I'd rather make them DLC if we can. They are nicer to use when they're set up like that. So I'll do that over here too. Single door, wrap that in half walls. Boxes underneath, head protection above. A couple of frames to come through. Just like so. Get your ramps in. Might be easier to place them from outside. Who knows? This is working right now, it would seem. Then from there, we'll add in the floors. There we go. There's our wide gapped floors there. Now over here, next to where our kind of reverse waterfall will be, we're going to half wall, low wall. Just like so. Then over here, you get a window on the left with a jump up on the right. Give ourselves a little Patrico there to work with. Double half wall this with another half wall here. And add a triangle on top. Single door there facing out towards the roof now. Then another single door like that. There we go. Windows here. And then you can exit out with a door or a single door. It's up to you. Then for the reverse waterfall, we enter that with a single door. You can add in a floor here with a frame to give us some stability across for this. Just like that. Then we can add a half wall on the back of this, a full wall in the center, single door at the front here, and then a couple of roofs to seal everything up. There we go. And again, we prefer the DLC if we can, and we get the roofs in. More of a mission than it needed to be. Just like that. You can add in half walls on the back of this and then some low walls here as well. And that's going to keep our turret safe at the top. Beautiful. And then we can do all of this on the opposite end of the base. For starters, it looks like I'm missing a couple frames, so I'll add them in now. We get a window on the left, half wall on the right. Lower than frame, half walls in the middle and the back. Cap it off. Single door there, single door there. Couple of windows, and then we exit single or double. It's up to you. Just like that. You can add frames in the middle with your floors. Then we come over to reverse waterfall. Half wall, low wall. And then we add that for stability coming through. There we go. Single door in. And then single door out as well. Full wall in the middle. And then we get some roof ramps on this. Nice and fun to place those. One there and one here. Beautiful. Once we've done that, we're onto this side of the roof now. Then once we've done that, we can look over to this side of the roof. Above our little box section, we can add in some frames. And we can half wall the left and right with a window in the middle. Ideally, we brutalist that off. Same over here. We can also raise up frames from our kind of bedroom section down the bottom here. And just add in these half walls again, as we did before. Frame down the middle and a little Patrico here. Give that some head protection and a box to stand on and utilize this angle. Beautiful. Low walls to keep our head safe. Box to stand on. Then from there we can add in the full kind of turret pod as well. There we go. Keeps us safe from the minicopters and HVs. We'll do that over here as well. Then you can throw a couple of windmills down right at the top of the base. And once you've done that, that completes the base design. Hopefully you boys and girls have enjoyed this video. If you did, then please feel free to leave me a like and drop me a comment down below. Maybe even a sub too if you're sound. Remember to check out the Discord, lots of helpful settings there, and of course cop a custom and maybe the Patreon if you're feeling nice. And I'll see you boys and girls in the next video. See you in a bit.